Hello, peoples. I have a special guest. There's going to be two of us tonight talking about Married at First Sight. You know who the hell I am, and if you don't, I'm Melina. And today we have
Marie-Louise, and I'm from Lifestyling.
Oh my goodness! Look, you're going to hear some sound in the background occasionally because we are live at the Sydney My Music Bowl here in Melbourne. And so we're waiting for the last free show at the of the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. Like, fabulous! So I've just finished watching last night's episode of Married at First Sight. So far this season, what are we thinking here? Crap or crap?
Pretty much, yeah. It's which level of crap you want to talk about, really.
Yes. All right, hang on a sec. I'm going to. Yes, you're tagged. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, beauty.
All right, so I sent you a video talking about, it was like a mini documentary on what is actually the #1 TV show at the moment is Married at First Sight on Channel 9 every single night.
Despite how many people deny watching it.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable.
Deny some more, eh?
Yes. Yes.
So what was scary is, was when they were interviewing one of the so-called professionals, as I call them. They interviewed him and said, John, that's right. They said, last year there was a lot of stuff that happened. What do you think is going to happen this year? And he's like, don't worry, we're going to ramp it up. How do you feel when you saw him say that?
I remember watching that interview live and I was horrified because I just thought it just goes to show how blatantly fake the whole thing is.
Yep.
Which is okay, it's a TV show, but it's upsetting when it's people's lives that they're messing with.
Yeah, because there are genuinely a couple of people on there that were actually there to look for love.
And I think there are every season.
Yes, I think definitely every season we're going to get a couple, just a couple. I'm going to say just a couple.
See if you can pick them.
Yeah. So this season, let's see. There's some rumours that there is also. I'm going to call it out and say Dino is definitely bent like a circle, baby. I'm going to call him gay because he's really having issues, and I get the whole connection thing, but I'm sorry, guys. When a woman is very she didn't just insinuate, did she? His wife said, "A girl just wants to be slammed up against a wall." It's like, what more do you want? Just do it. She just popped that cherry. That's what she's asking for, and he's not really interested.
And there comes a time where every man wants to be a gentleman, and he wants to be a gentleman for his woman, and we wanted to be a gentleman, but she's so clear about it now. Come on, man.
She's clear like paint on the wall.
There could not be a bigger green light.
It's like you get the green light, take the green light. He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the question is why? Because someone did send me a message saying, the rumor is that two of the men hooked up on this actual show. So very interesting. Now, Dino and Bronson, they actually know each other, but have you noticed that they aren't even making out like they know each other at all? And how do they know each other?
Because Bronson hired Dino to be one of his strippers.
Yes. I wouldn't fuck Dino's life. Yeah, Drew. Yeah.
So none of us would. That's the thing. I think he's probably fairly asexual, really. I've not met anyone who said, well, you know how I look.
Yeah.
Is anyone saying they want Dino? Nobody.
I think he's taken the meditation out of me, to be honest.
He'd drive me mad. I couldn't be with him for 5 minutes, let alone actually in the sack.
He's just
anywhere.
In the sack. Yeah, no. I mean, he might have a great body, but that's about it.
Nah, not for me. No.
Well, see, he used to be a stripper, so Bronson actually gave him the job, wasn't it? His first job
Dino
stripping.
the Latino.
So there you go. Dino the Latino. He's not even Latino. He's Indian or
everyone
Sri
needs a stage name. Yeah.
So, but Indians aren't unlike Latinos.
And that's why he's not. Well, I don't know. I can't think of an Indian type of stripper name. Research that one.
Look at this. Doesn't matter how clear a woman is about sex. If I'm not down, I couldn't care about how hot she's. And correct.
Exactly.
So he's actually not interested because he's bent like a circle.
Yes.
He ain't interested in the vagina.
Yes.
Just saying.
But which is what's amazing about the show, that so many people get on there with completely ulterior motives.
Yes. Well, he's on there really to do fame because he used to model or something too.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. So who else was it that we had some info on?
That Mark was poached at his gym.
Oh,
Mark
Mr.
from Melbourne.
PT.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he was one of the poached ones. I think Mike was too baldy.
Yeah.
I think he was poached. So.
Oh, he's a mystery.
Yeah, I'm really not too sure about that.
I flip-flop on him all the time. I'm like,
I think he flip-flops on himself.
some of us wouldn't mind him flip-flopping on us.
Oh, well. He's actually, and you know I don't like bald man, but
same.
He's a bit
Same.
nice. He's a bit dishy.
He's quite
You're a dick,
virile
but
looking.
you're dishy.
Yeah. But he's got something about him.
He's got something about him,
Yeah,
very
definitely.
much so. So, all right.
Except for his attitude, not so much.
Yeah, but he's blunt like me, so it actually works for me.
No, I mean in the sense that he doesn't really, I get a bit over people going on the show not really knowing what they want. And,
don't go on a show like this if you're actually not serious about getting married.
Yeah,
I'm just
basically.
saying. I know it's not real, but anyway.
Yeah,
All right, so last night's episode, which I just got put through the torture ring watching it, my phone went flat, and then we had to charge it so I can get the last 5 minutes of nothingness. Pretty much the whole thing is about the fact that Elizabeth comes back after Innes spends the night with Sam. It's just like shock horror there. Because, we do know, and there has been word out anyway, that those two were hooking up for quite a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they're still seeing each other.
And the show pretty much paced it that way from the start.
Yeah.
With her, like, oh, I wonder if there's somebody at the dinner party. And then
yeah.
eyes on him as soon as he walked in, so...
So my issue with that whole scenario with Elizabeth and Sam, so Elizabeth is Miss Eyes and Sam's Mr.
Eyes
Hottie.
and claws and mouth.
Oh my God, she's full on. Yeah, it's like, wow. So she, my issue was, and he, and I'm going to, for 2 minutes, I'm going to be on Sam's side, all right? Yeah, she's a crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Sam, he had a valid point this time because she got so upset with the fact that he nicked off to go to a funeral, which he actually did go to a funeral, and he did actually hook up with his ex, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, actually, have we had confirmed that he was actually at a funeral?
Yes.
Okay.
I have had it confirmed that he was at the funeral, but he was definitely, yes, he is hot. Well, he's hot, but he's a hot, no, sorry, I'm sorry, hot men actually are, they're not good in the sack, so I wouldn't even bother going there anymore.
I don't think he was all that hot until last night he got out of bed.
What, and he had his hair everywhere, and then he looked a bit hot?
And his jocks, and then I was like, yeah, I can see it. I mean, I'm not blind. I can see he's
attractive. He's very attractive.
But I was never really drawn to him until then.
Look, he's the kind of material I like to look at. Maybe like tickle and touch a little bit.
Yeah.
But
have a bit of a flirt.
Like he's just not. He's fake. He's too fake for my liking.
Yeah.
So anywho, Sam had a valid point because what happened is that he's gone off and he's not contacted his partner, and then she's gone off this time and done exactly the same thing that she flipped a tit about. So, when Sam's going, whoa, hang on a minute, now I've got no respect for you because you have just turned around and you have done exactly what you cracked the shits at me for doing. Aren't you a little hypocritical? And the answer to that is yes. Very, very hypocritical.
Although, I will throw a spanner.
Yeah.
He was really just diverting from the fact that he was just getting
he just kicked
the
someone out of
the bathroom and the chick out of the bed. So I think he was a little... I don't think he would have been quite as hard on her if that hadn't just happened.
Yeah, but the reality is she did do the one thing that she had to go at him about.
But I don't think he's so stupid that he doesn't realise. I think he was just turning the heat up on that.
Make
to
you feel guilty.
She could probably still smell her perfume in the air. Like, who knows with the editing. But
well, we don't actually know the time frame.
Exactly. It could have been the day before. It could have been the same day. It could have been 5 minutes ago. Who knows?
Well, it really came across at the dinner party where Elizabeth cracked it at Innes. Big time. We'll call part B. She went psycho bitch, right?
Yeah.
And, she cracked it. And I think part of that was a little bit of intuition sitting in there. But it was really, because there was no explanation, or the editing didn't show any explanation of why she didn't contact him or why she was really away. And it really came across that she was definitely suffering from some form of anxiety is what came across to me.
Yeah, I think even the way she was communicating with him back at the apartment or the hotel, yes, there was editing, we missed a lot, but I really think she wasn't able to express what she was thinking. And in some ways, would you want to express that to him after what he did to her? and you've had to go away and have that time out, I don't know. I think it'd be difficult in her situation.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real tough one, and seriously, they need to separate them. She just has server daddy issues. Server daddy issues? I'm not too. Maybe daddy issues. Who knows? But no, I actually wouldn't go there, because I've actually been with my fair share of strippers and models and hot men, and they suck in bed, honey. I have tested the spice rack more than people know. And let me tell you, the hotties, the specifically men, and they're the hot women from what I'm hearing, they suck in bed, and the reason being is they've never had a try. And so they find a way that they like, and that's actually what happens. Now, speaking of that for a second, right? Okay, so there was the farmer and his wife. This was, I think, 2 nights ago, and I didn't touch this where, you know, he's gone to the men to ask them, you know, I need some advice. I finally popped the cherry with my wife, and then she's like a cold turkey ever since, right? Now, and he's going, I don't know what to do. And she's cracked it over that. But, you know, like, I'm sorry, but that is what hanging out with the boys or hanging out with the girls is about, is going,
completely.
Can somebody please just, you know, give me some advice here, is what he was asking.
From the outside looking in, you
Correct.
need that. Yeah.
Now, the reality is, if she's turned around, I'm glad I'm ugly. If she's turned around and she's...
Don't be like that.
You do need to cut that ponytail off, mate.
Please.
I'm just going to say you need to cut it off.
That's 2 for 2.
There you go. There's two women that work in this industry with you saying cut the ponytail off.
And have great taste.
So anyhow, and I don't mind a man bun, but no, mate, you got to get rid of it. So, and that is, and here he is. He's just beat us to the punch. The reason why, the reason why she is not reconnected with the farmer is because it was a bad shag.
Which is also why she didn't want anyone to know about it.
Yeah, because she's embarrassed, right?
And she didn't want to have to deal with it and actually face up to the fact that I now have to go back to him and say that was a one-time only deal.
I know, how bad is that? And I mean, you know, like, just for those of you that aren't too sure, because, you know, like, look, it's really hard for us women to sit there and actually say to a guy, we do need to direct you guys, but reality is most women don't know their bodies in the first place, okay? Let's get this real. But it's very difficult for a woman to say to you that's really just bad. Hence why a lot of women fake it, which women stop fucking doing that, because you're not helping.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a lot of ego there. And it's understandable too, because I think nobody wants to be the one, if somebody's been shagging, well, having sex for 20 years, because shagging sounds like you've been doing it. That's an awfully long stint.
We've had intercourse, darling, yes.
But if you've been having sex for a long time and nobody else has mentioned it, then you almost have to have some evidence on your side too, to be like, well, nobody else has complained, and you're well, but actually, I've got some experience too, and I don't like it.
And it's hard, because the last thing you want to do as a woman is emasculate a guy. And talking about his penis is the fastest way to emasculate any man. So, you know, it's skill
that he's been honing, but which might have worked on others, but doesn't work on us.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a matter of connection.
Well, I mean, like,
figuring out the reality ins and outs.
Yeah, because everybody's body is different.
Yes.
And when it comes to women specifically, here's the deal. Once we've learned the art of the penis, Ghostbusters. Once we've learned the art of that, you're going to call someone else. No. You know, it's not rocket science. However, with a woman, we're all different. We're quite complicated little creatures down there, and sometimes you're a bit smooth, and your hot spots move, and you got to go looking for it. So, you know.
And sometimes it's not as easy.
Oh, Andrew.
Only because you
We talked about your hair. We were talking
you brought it up.
We weren't talking about your pubes, or because I've never seen.
And I've never gone there either, so I can't. We can't comment on things we don't know about in particular.
No. We're just saying flavour of what would look really good on you. I'm an independent man. I don't need no woman. Well, you know what? The reality is none of us need anybody, but it's very nice to have somebody with you to share and grow and experience and have fun. Stop faking it. You know, like all that other stuff. So,
but you have to be flexible. Like you were saying before, that our bits are moved sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes they're a little bit harder to reach, and not just physically, but sometimes you're just not as in the mood as you were the last time you shaved that person.
Exactly.
Maybe the first time you're all hot and heavy, the next time you might need a little bit more finessing.
Yes.
But not every guy wants to do that.
Yes.
They like, nailed it last time, I can nail it again.
We're just going to go this way, yeah.
But, it goes both ways. Everyone has to be open to some communication.
Stop it, Andrew. Stop it. That's in your fantasy.
You into someone else,
I was going to say, that's a fantasy. I haven't done a threesome with you. I'm thinking of the one I did have, though. Sorry, there were two half brothers, and one was a pilot and one was a hostess. So, yeah, wrong nationality. So, yes, we do apologise for the noise in the background. We are at the Sydney My Music Bowl. We're getting ready for the Melbourne Symphony to come on for their free event. So, it is, I'm going to just turn around so you can see the people. All right, so it's nice and busy here. So we're doing this before they get started. Yeah. So, yes, she does. Now, so really what this video was about was also to talk about perception, because it's interesting looking at the video footage from the men's table catch up to the women's and how they're describing what happened in a scenario, and the perceptions are quite different. Yeah. Or the sucking of the finger. It's gross.
When he said at the commitment ceremony that she was eating his face.
Yeah.
She was eating his hand at that time too.
Yes. Yeah, it's all wrong. It's all. So, we really want to talk about that, because the other thing is Bronson. Bronson he's been so hurt.
Yeah.
And he's had so much loss in his life, and he has so much love to give. He needs to give it to himself first, granted. And so he is grasping at every little tiny sniff of what she's offering up to him. And the whole time she's lying. And the experiment.
Like, you go into it thinking that the person will be there for the same thing you're there for.
Yeah. So, Channel 9, you are making a squillion from this show, which is slowly decimating the real people that are on there to find love. You're giving us an education on the social experiment of psychology, of how people behave, because what I do want to say about what's happening in the show is the issues that are coming up, and more specifically, well, no, it's both sexes. I was going to say for the women, because the women's behaviour just sucks.
Yeah.
But the men's frustration, it's really real. This is actually what is happening out there, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And particularly with the not knowing when to make a move because they're terrified of what's going to happen. Whether they're getting green lights.
Yeah.
Dino, you are. You are.
Greeno's got more than a D. What's bigger than green?
I don't know, but it's
slapped in the face soon.
Big MCG size green patch.
So this is the issue, is make sure that everything's about perception. So when everything's about perception, be careful on how you're communicating that. Because it's like text messages. Someone said to me, I don't like your tone. And I laughed at her and I said, honey, tone isn't how you're reading it, not how I wrote it.
Yeah.
So how you're reading messages can come across a lot worse than what they are.
For sure.
So, we really need to look at how we're perceiving what's happening in our lives. We need to see if there's a pattern happening here, if there's a, rinse and repeat is really big on this show. But the reality is, if you want to know about how we're all doing bad dating behaviour, this show will show it to you straight up, eh?
For sure.
So we're instead going to enjoy tonight instead of watching MAFS live.
We'll catch up later.
We have discussed possibly doing a double live at the same time, where you'll see us watching the show.
Our own little goggle box.
Yeah, we're going to do a goggle box so you can see what our reaction is, because the people sitting in front of us, by the way, at this event while I'm watching the show, I'm laughing my ass off, and I was on the train laughing my ass off on this last episode last night. So we are thinking we should get you guys to literally watch us live, and then in the ad breaks we can discuss what we think is going on. So if you're interested in something like that, definitely put in the comments a like. If you want to make sure that you don't miss our live reviews, make sure that you are following both of us.
And maybe suggest which night you would like to see that on.
Yes.
A dinner party or a commitment ceremony. I mean, oh God, they're all as bad as each other and as good as each other. So, you know, which one would be best?
Yeah.
Give us some feedback. Let's see what you think.
Yeah, when do you think our Gogglebox version of MAFS would be worth seeing? But until next time, have an awesome night. Make sure that you're following us, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye from us.
See you guys.
Bye.